What makes the night sky so captivating? Is it the vastness, the quiet chaos, or the way stars seem to pulse with a life of their own? Vincent van Gogh saw something extraordinary when he looked at the night, something that most of us might miss. He didn't just paint the stars, he breathed life into them, letting their swirling light echo the turbulence of the human soul. The Starry Night isn't just a painting. It's an enigma, a masterpiece that challenges us to see beyond the ordinary. But why did Van Gogh create such a mesmerizing depiction of the night sky while confined in an asylum? What drove him to merge the tranquility of the village below with the swirling chaos above? This painting carries secrets, and behind every brushstroke lies a story of passion, struggle, and genius. If you think you know the Starry Night, think again. Prepare to dive into the mind of one of the most brilliant and troubled artists in history, and discover how this iconic piece continues to inspire and challenge us even today. Imagine a quiet night where the sky seems alive, swirling with a sense of motion and mystery. That's the feeling one gets when gazing at the Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh. This masterpiece, painted in 1889, is far more than just a depiction of a night sky. It's an intimate glimpse into the artist's soul, filled with turbulence and beauty. With its bold brushstrokes and vivid colors, Van Gogh transformed the night into something almost supernatural, giving the stars a sense of life and movement. The painting's dynamic composition and emotive intensity have made it not only a hallmark of Van Gogh's career but an icon in the world of art. It stands as a testament to his unique ability to portray emotion through visual chaos, capturing the human spirit in every stroke. What makes the Starry Night truly captivating is how it represents Van Gogh's inner world. Painted during his stay at the Saint Paul de Mausole asylum in Saint-Rémy-de-Provence, it reflects both his longing for peace and the chaotic thoughts swirling within him. The contrast between the serene village below and the stormy sky above mirrors the duality of his mental state. The painting's thick, expressive lines and the almost pulsating stars showcase his signature style, blending realism with raw emotion. Over the years, it has come to symbolize not only Van Gogh's artistic genius but also the struggle of a creative mind seeking solace amid turmoil. It's a powerful reminder that even in darkness, there is beauty and brilliance. The story behind the Starry Night is as captivating as the painting itself. Created in June 1889, it was painted while Van Gogh was residing at the Saint Paul de Mausole asylum in Saint-Rémy-de-Provence, France. After a severe mental breakdown, Van Gogh voluntarily admitted himself, hoping to find some sense of peace and stability. During his stay, he often painted the view from his room's window, and the Starry Night emerged from one of these nocturnal observations. Remarkably, it took him just a few days to complete this masterpiece, driven by an intense creative impulse. At the time, the art world was moving toward Impressionism and Post-Impressionism, but Van Gogh's unique blend of vivid expression and personal interpretation made his style stand out, even amid such innovative movements. The night sky he depicted wasn't an exact representation but rather a visionary interpretation, blending reality with imagination. Van Gogh didn't just paint what he saw, he painted how he felt about what he saw. This artistic choice marked a departure from traditional realism and positioned him as a precursor to modern expressionism. The swirling patterns and luminous stars were not just celestial bodies, they were symbols of hope, longing, and existential wonder. Although his work was not widely appreciated during his lifetime, the Starry Night stands today as a bold statement of artistic freedom and the human spirit's resilience. The painting reflects Van Gogh's determination to find beauty amid suffering, making it a timeless inspiration for countless artists and dreamers. Van Gogh's inspiration for the Starry Night was deeply rooted in both his surroundings and his emotional state. During his time at the asylum, his connection with nature became a vital refuge from the chaos within his mind. The view from his window, overlooking the peaceful village of Saint Remy and the vast, turbulent sky, became a constant source of contemplation. He was particularly fascinated by the contrast between the calmness of the village and the chaotic movement of the sky, almost as if the universe itself were reflecting his inner turmoil. This idea of capturing the tension between tranquility and disturbance became central to the painting's essence. Additionally, Van Gogh was influenced by his admiration for the natural world, religious contemplation, and the night itself. He once wrote to his brother Theo, expressing his fascination with the night sky, describing it as more alive and richer in color than the day. His interest in astronomy also played a role. Some studies even suggest that the positions of the stars and the moon in the painting correspond to an actual celestial event in June 1889. This blend of personal emotion, spiritual exploration, and scientific curiosity gave birth to the Starry Night, a canvas where reality and imagination coexist. It's a glimpse into Van Gogh's unique perspective on the world, blending what he saw with how he interpreted the mysteries of existence. Surprisingly, the Starry Night did not receive the recognition it deserved during Van Gogh's lifetime. At the time, his work was often considered too intense and unconventional, failing to align with the more polished aesthetics favored by the art community. Even Van Gogh himself wasn't entirely satisfied with the painting, referring to it as one of his lesser works. Despite his doubts, the painting's raw energy and emotional depth couldn't be ignored by those who looked beyond the norms of the period. It wasn't until after his death that the Starry Night started gaining recognition, primarily due to the efforts of his sister-in-law, Johanna van Gogh, who tirelessly promoted his work. As time passed, the painting began to captivate the public and art critics alike. It gradually became a symbol of Van Gogh's genius, reflecting his struggle with mental illness and his relentless pursuit of beauty through chaos. The swirling sky and glowing stars seem to resonate with the human experience. How even in the darkest moments, there's a spark of light and hope. When the painting eventually made its way to the Museum of Modern Art, MoMA, in New York, it solidified its status as one of the most iconic and celebrated works of art in history. Today, it's not just an artwork, it's a statement of resilience, a vivid expression of emotion, and a timeless masterpiece that continues to move audiences around the world. After Van Gogh's death in 1890, the Starry Night remained relatively unknown, tucked away among his vast collection of paintings. It wasn't until his sister-in-law, Johanna van Gogh, took it upon herself to introduce his works to the world that the painting began to gain attention. Initially, it traveled through Europe, being displayed in smaller galleries and exhibitions that aimed to showcase Van Gogh's unique vision. The painting's emotionally charged style began to resonate with audiences during the early 20th century, particularly as the art world grew more open to expressionism and post-impressionism. Eventually, the Starry Night found a permanent home at the Museum of Modern Art, MoMA, in New York City in 1941, after being acquired as a part of a significant collection of modern masterpieces. Since then, it has remained one of the most visited and admired pieces in the museum's collection, symbolizing not only Van Gogh's artistic brilliance but also the triumph of his once overlooked genius. The painting has also been featured in numerous special exhibitions, both in the United States and internationally, often serving as the centerpiece of retrospectives dedicated to Van Gogh's life and legacy. Its journey from a modest posthumous recognition to a celebrated global icon reflects how art can transcend its time, finding new meaning and admiration with each generation. One of the most intriguing aspects of the Starry Night is how it blends reality with imagination. Although the scene depicts a night view from Van Gogh's asylum window, it is not an accurate representation. In fact, the cypress tree, the village, and even the swirling sky were all reimagined by the artist. Researchers have speculated that Van Gogh combined elements from his memory and imagination, possibly influenced by his studies of Japanese woodblock prints, which often feature dynamic, flowing skies. Another fascinating detail is that astronomers have analyzed the position of the stars depicted and concluded that they closely resemble the actual sky of June 1889, further blurring the line between artistic interpretation and astronomical accuracy. Additionally, the painting has sparked countless interpretations over the years. Some see it as an embodiment of Van Gogh's mental struggles, with the swirling sky representing his chaotic thoughts, while others interpret it as a spiritual journey, a longing for the divine. Van Gogh himself referred to the night as more vibrant than the day, suggesting a fascination with the nocturnal that transcended mere observation. Interestingly, despite being one of his most celebrated works today, Van Gogh was not particularly fond of it, considering it somewhat flawed compared to his other paintings. This contrast between the artist's perception and the world's admiration adds a layer of irony and complexity to the legacy of the Starry Night. The Starry Night transcends its canvas, standing as a powerful testament to the human spirit's ability to find beauty in chaos. Today, it's not just a painting. It's an emblem of resilience, creativity, and the indomitable force of imagination. Van Gogh's masterpiece resonates with countless people around the globe, not only because of its aesthetic brilliance but because it tells a story of struggle and hope. It reminds us that even in the darkest of times, there is light. Sometimes swirling, chaotic, and imperfect, but undeniably beautiful. It's a reflection of the human condition itself, turbulent, passionate, and ever reaching for something beyond. Through its presence in the Museum of Modern Art in New York, it continues to inspire art lovers, scholars, and dreamers alike. The painting has made its way into popular culture, from literature and music to film and digital media, cementing its place as one of the most beloved and analyzed works of all time. Its vivid depiction of a restless sky has encouraged generations to embrace their own complexities and see beauty even in the midst of personal storms. Van Gogh's legacy, immortalized through this artwork, teaches us that pain can indeed create something breathtakingly profound. In this way, the Starry Night is more than just an artwork. It's a living, breathing symbol of artistic brilliance and the timeless quest for meaning. So, what does the Starry Night mean to you? Is it a reminder that beauty can arise from pain? Or perhaps it's a symbol of how imagination can transform reality into something extraordinary? Whatever it represents, one thing is certain. Van Gogh's masterpiece has the power to touch our hearts and challenge our minds, even after more than a century. It's not just about looking at a painting. It's about feeling it, connecting with the passion and turmoil that shaped its creation. Now, take a moment and think. How do you view the world around you? Do you see the beauty hidden within chaos? Maybe it's time to embrace your own unique perspective, just like Van Gogh did. Share your thoughts in the comments. What does the Starry Night evoke in you? And if you found this exploration enlightening, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell. Stay with us as we continue to uncover the stories behind the world's most iconic art.